Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, you know what? You know who's not very smart? You know who's not really intelligent? Criminals. You know, as I'm making my videos and I'm trying to find out stories and things like that, people often ask me, do I use any tools? I have anything that I use that helps me find the news stories that I'm looking for and express myself the way I'm trying to express myself? Well, yeah, actually I do. On my phone I use Type AI.
It's a ChatGPT powered AI keyboard extension that sits right directly on your keyboard, so you don't have to switch to another app just to use it.
It not only will help me with my grammar and my spelling, it's an extension that works on your phone along with all your other apps that are on your phone as well. And what I like about it is because I'm an atrocious speller. I am pretty much embarrassed at how bad I am at spelling. Well, this will correct my spelling when I'm doing text messages and messaging back and forth to clients. But not only that, it gives me some other advantages as well, including grammar checks. It'll tell me the tone of my messages. It will help me translate things. Here, let me give you some example. So let's say you're sending a message to your teacher because you can't make the deadline for a project, and you say, "Dear Professor, I cannot meet the deadline for this project. I apologize. Can you please extend the term?" Pretty simple wording, right? Well, look at the difference when you ask AI to write it. Now, which one do you think your teacher is most likely to respond to? And of course, it will help you with your grammar. Here I am sending a message to John. And yeah, my spelling, like I said, is atrocious. But look how it quickly corrects it to something that is legible and understanding. So John knows exactly what I was trying to say. How about one more example of one of the features? I'm about to head to Italy. I'm staying in Rome. I'm going on a cruise, and I don't speak Italian. I can hit the translate button. And by the way, look at all the choices that it has to choose, and chat will generate the text for me. How simple will this be to translate to a taxi driver or somebody looking for directions or just somebody trying to explain something to somebody that you don't speak the language for? It's a wonderful tool. So hey, if you're traveling and you want a translator or just help with checking your spelling, your grammar, even making messages to your boss or teacher, whatever you're looking for, Type AI is the perfect tool to help you do so. And you know what? Why not get Type AI Premium? At least check it out for a free trial by just clicking my link down below. And thanks again to Type AI for opening my eyes to how bad I spell, and thank you for sponsoring this video. So I have a very tragic story, and then I have a couple other stories that involve, let's just say, not very intelligent people. So our first story we're going to talk about is a very tragic story where a couple went on an excursion in Cozumel, Mexico, and they decided, we're going to rent ourselves a motorcycle. I guess they're experienced motorcycle drivers. They like to do this. This is like how they like to explore the area. And they decided to rent one. There's lots of places. You can rent dune buggies, you can rent scooters, you can rent motorcycles, cars, everything in Cozumel. Lots of tourists do it. Unfortunately, during their trip, they were either cut off or lost control of the vehicle and ended up into the bush on one of these roads. And unfortunately, no one saw it happen, or at least no one reported seeing it happen. And they were not discovered for many hours later. Unfortunately, they were found and had passed away. So condolences out to the friends and family. It's one of those things that just seems like something so innocent. You're on vacation, you're a motorcycle enthusiast, you rent one to just tour around, and the worst possible thing happens on the trip. Both of them passing away from this accident, and again, all I can say is for everyone out there, again, please, whenever you're doing, always be aware of your situation and please be careful. You're in a foreign country, a strange country, the driving is different, and unfortunately something happened here and it did not end very well. I also have a couple stories of things that didn't end very well for some people who I like to say, criminals not always the smartest people let you there, right? They're not always the sharpest tack, shall we say. We'll talk with one story where two cruise passengers trying to get on a Norwegian cruise ship sailing from Miami to Southampton this month, well, they were discovered with close to 160 pounds of marijuana. Now, you might say, marijuana? Really? People are smuggling marijuana? Well, apparently marijuana in United States so much cheaper than in England and in Europe that it's worthwhile for them to try and smuggle it and make the profit that way. However, one thing they probably should have known is that they have drug-sniffing dogs at the cruise ports, and they're going to find you. Especially if you're bringing a lot. And guess what? 160 pounds of marijuana is a lot. And so one of them, the gentleman, was under suspicion. And they watched the cameras as the drug-sniffing dogs kind of pointed this out with the luggage and everything. And they saw that he was talking to another woman, so they interviewed her on her getting on the ship, just quickly asked her. And she said, oh, I just met this guy in the bar. I've never met him before. And so they allowed her on the ship. And then they investigated. And they tracked them coming in and out of the cruise port. They interviewed him and was getting ready to charge him. And then when they discovered that it looks like maybe she's involved as well, because on him they found 56 wrapped bags individually. And he's trying to said that, and this is all, speculative, shall we say, but he's trying to say, oh no, I have a licensed card from California, it's a medical thing, and I also, this is all for personal use. 56 bags, 80 pounds of marijuana was for personal use on a transatlantic cruise. Wow. Where was he supposed to be using this at? Well, anyway, they decided they're going to investigate the lady and decided to check her bag as well. And, oh, this is going to shock you. This is going to shock you. They found the exact amount of bags wrapped the exact same way, 56 bags, the exact same weight that's in the other gentleman's suitcase, who they said never met before and was for personal use. Needless to say, they are both being charged and were detained by the border security. So, criminals, this is just a warning, because this wasn't for personal use. This is one of them for somebody who mistakenly brought something on the cruise ship. These were people who were intending to use this and sell it illegally. And 160 pounds. 160 pounds! They thought they could sneak on a cruise ship. Not the smartest people in the world. And again, we have another story of a cruise passenger who is going to get on the Carnival Elation. Well, there is a problem. You see, when you get on a cruise ship, you know how you have to fill in your address, give some kind of ID, like your driver's license minimum, or a birth certificate, or your passport in my case. You have to fill all that in. Well, that goes to customs. That goes to the police. It's shared amongst everybody. By the way, this person is getting on our ship, going to these countries, and then coming back, etc. Well, they do that because they don't want people sneaking across the border who's running from the law, etc., etc. Well, one woman decided, I'm going to do this, and she had outstanding warrants for a bunch of stuff. One of them including hit-and-run driving that she is currently being sought by the police for. Well, when you're sought by the police and you show up at an airport or a cruise port with those outstanding warrants, you're gonna get caught. You're gonna get caught. And that's exactly what happened to her. She was getting ready to get on the ship, and bam, she was detained and arrested for these outstanding warrants. Again, not the brightest star in the sky, shall we say, when people are thinking of these things. Crazy that you can think of some people going there. And some people were commenting to me as well, say, hey, Don, I know you don't want to follow the TikTok stuff going on the world cruise and everything, because a lot of them don't know anything about cruising and are complaining about silly things. And they say, but what about this story? And it was basically the one guy who was put on the ship to create drama and everything. He's already off the ship. He was only on for like 11 days or something like that. But he was saying to people that, you know, whoever's leaving these ducks all over the place for me to find, please stop doing it. What is with that? What the heck is going on? Really? You're complaining about finding a duck in a stairwell or something. They're not leaving it in his room. He's finding it on the ship because that's what people do. It's been a tradition for over a decade on cruise ships, which is why I say, if you don't know anything about cruising, maybe don't complain about every little thing. Find out about things. But again, this person was put there specifically for drama. It was all about the drama. So, and I've also seen one more video where he was doing a live stream on TikTok, and people were saying, hey, you don't know anything about cruising. The thing you're complaining about this, you're complaining about that. That's the way this works. That's the way that works. Maybe you should have done some research before getting on the cruise ship. And he goes, let me talk about that for a minute. Let me just talk about it. Where am I supposed to do research? There's no course to go study. There's no college degree on cruising. Where can I possibly find out information about cruising? He has a social media platform. Maybe TikTok will show you about cruising. Maybe YouTube can find you about cruising. Maybe you just look up cruising videos and search it on Google. If only there were some websites out there that might help explain tips and tricks and what to expect when you go on cruises. Imagine if we only lived in a world where that was possible. I almost broke out laughing my head off when he was at it. Where am I supposed to do research? He's on social media. He's informing people about the cruise that he's on. If only there was some place that you could go that maybe find out other stuff about cruising. I'm sorry, I just found that absolutely hilarious. And no, only reason I watched it is because people sent it to me. And yeah, I'm not watching that TikTok stuff right now until it just becomes information about how the cruise is going and not just people searching for drama. Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Till next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.